Hey guys, how you doing? Sorry I'm late. Hello Cameron, how are you? I told you guys at 2, but it's been a somewhat of a rough day. I had some things I had to take care of. I wasn't feeling great earlier, and I'm feeling a little bit better now. So we are off and running. As I told you, I'm sorry, a little late, but if you're in the queue, jump in. This is going to be a fun one. We've got football, all things NFL. I've written down all my notes. You can see my notes. You can see my notes. Notes. I've got page after page of notes. It's going to be a fun one. Daggone, where do we start? I can't remember who asked me about the Seahawks. Was it you, Cameron? Because I do have a little thing on the Seahawks. I guess that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over playoff scenarios right now, because that's the most interesting thing. All right. Well, thanks anyway. Hopefully the person that asked me, I just talked to so many people that I mix up who said what, and it would take me forever to write it down. So I'm just going to start with playoff scenarios. Sugar plums dancing in my head. Hold on, don't do that. All right, we're just going to leave it right there. All right, so for your playoff scenarios, we've got week 18. There's 2 games today, right? So Carolina plays at Tampa Bay, and that is for both teams a win or go home. Whoever wins that game wins the division, and the loser goes packing, which is amazing to believe because there's 3 teams in that division. 2 teams are already going home. Whoever loses this game also goes home. So you're going to have one team from the NFC South, I think it is. AFC South. Jacksonville. Carolina. Golly, I can't remember what division Carolina's in. They're an NFC team? Maybe they're an NFC team. Hold on. Yeah, sorry about that. NFC team. So Carolina plays Tampa Bay. Whoever wins that game goes on to the playoff, wins the NFC South, and then the loser just goes home. So you got 2 huge. Those for me are games of the week. One of the few games of the week that I have. We've got Carolina game. They're playing the Tampa Bay Bucks, and the other one there with the 8-8 teams playing for it was Baltimore and Pittsburgh. That was the other one. Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Whoever wins that wins the division. The loser goes home. So there's 3 games right there. You got Carolina, Tampa Bay, Baltimore, Pittsburgh. Winner of those 2 games goes to the playoffs and wins the division. The other 2 go home. I'm just going to run down the matchups for today. The other game today is Seattle at San Francisco. That's a big one for both teams. They're fighting for number 1 seed in the NFC. The loser still makes the playoff, but they drop lower in the bracket. So, sorry. Hello, how you doing, Xavier? Isabel, hi, hello, thank you for joining. HFam, hello, how are you? Thank you for joining. I'm just covering some, I'm doing predictions right now. If you have a favorite team, let me know. And if anybody wanted some extra info, particularly on the Seahawks, I have that set aside. So today, Carolina at Tampa Bay. I'm picking Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay is going to finally get over the hump. they've been scratching and clawing all season, and I think they finally at home get the fans behind them. That's going to be huge because it's not a playoff game, but it is a playoff game because the loser goes home, and so you got to play. You got to play like the lights are going to be turned off. You got to play with all the gusto in your body, everything you can muster up. Let's go. Leave it. Bring it on the field. Leave it on the field. I remember I did that whenever I played football. You also have, let's see, Seattle and San Francisco. I think Seattle gives San Francisco one heck of a fight, but I ultimately think, again, because it's San Francisco's at home, I do believe that they're going to be victorious in that. Seattle still makes the playoffs. Instead of being the number 1 seed, they're going to drop to the number 5 seed and play the winner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. So they're waiting. If they drop to the 5 seed, they got to play either Carolina or Tampa Bay in the first round, the wild card round. So if they lose, there's still a little anxiety there because are they home or do they travel? How's that going to work out? I don't know. But yeah, if the Seahawks win, they're the number 1 overall seed in the NFC. 5 Tinky Fox. Yes, I remember you. Mustard or Marmot fan. That's funny. Thanks, Bob Him. Yeah, so the Seahawks, it's big for the Seahawks. I mean, it's big for all the teams, right? Because they're fighting for playoff spots. So I think San Francisco is going to beat Seattle just because they're home and they have, that 12th man on the field. A lot of people do say the Seahawks are going to win. I'm sorry, 5 Tinky Fox. But yeah, you're here now. Thank you so much for the love. Just going over my predictions for these games today. There's only 2 today, and then the rest are tomorrow. New Orleans at Atlanta. I've got Atlanta. Cleveland at Cincinnati. I mean, come on. Cincinnati, if they had Joe Burrow all season, I think they would have fared better. But he was injury riddled this year, and he really, he just couldn't be on the field. So, nice. Thanks. And as far touching back, sorry, Cameron, the Seahawks, yes, they're 13-3 for a reason because they're a damn good football team. So, yeah, that's going to be a dogfight. I think it's going to go down to a field goal, right? Or an extra point on a touchdown. Who knows? Or maybe even, Nana, how are you? Hi, I see you there. Thank you for joining. I just think it's going to be a very close game. It's not going to be a blowout. If it is a blowout, I'm not expecting that, and I don't know how to feel about that. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. So back down to Sunday's games. You got Green Bay at Minnesota. Green Bay going to Minnesota, 1 o'clock on CBS. I think Minnesota at home is just too strong for Green Bay. Green Bay has not looked very strong as of late. Minnesota has sort of kept that even keel, They're having too many highs. They don't have too many lows. They're very, very steady football team. So I think Minnesota will win. Dallas and New York Giants. Simply because my aunt who passed away was a huge Giants fan, so I'm picking the Giants. And if I had to read into that a little bit more, I would say the Giants are going to win because it's a division game and they don't have as good a record as Dallas. So they're in this to prove to Dallas that they can win. So, and then Tennessee, Mike Vrabel's old team, goes to Jacksonville. Jacksonville, surprisingly, is still in it for the number 1 seed, which is amazing to me. But that just shows the grit that team has, right? Trevor Lawrence, balling out game after game, rushing for touchdowns. He's not in the mix for MVP. Some say he should be. I don't know. I think Drake May's going to get it, not because I'm a Patriots fan, but because his numbers are simply better than Matt Stafford's. We can talk about that again if you like. Thank you very much, Mark Travis. I appreciate that. Very, very, thank you very much. And glad you could join. I appreciate you. Then next we have Indianapolis going to Houston. I don't think, man, Indianapolis started hot. Didn't they start with they went like 8-2 or something in their first 10 games? They were hot as a pepper, right? Uh, and they're going to Houston, and Houston's fighting for a playoff spot, I believe. Yes, they are. And so the Indianapolis Colts are going to go in there. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Cameron. Uh, I think Indianapolis goes into Houston and beats the Texans. I think they're capable. I just said this the other day when I went live, right, Cameron? How any given day, any team can win. We don't know, just because their record says they're not good doesn't mean, all of their star players can't have career days. So if that happens, Indianapolis easily beats Houston. Daniel Jones, maybe he snaps too and, has a good day. Remind me, I didn't see that the Lions, and I'm not being facetious, I'm not being mean or anything. I'm just saying, when I was doing my research, I didn't see if the Lions were in it for the playoffs. However, I do think they're going to go, where's that game? Detroit at Chicago. Now, Chicago's fighting for the number one seed in the NFC. And I think Detroit goes into Chicago and slaps them right in the mouth. So that's my take on the Lions right now. I'm going to go on a little tangent with the Lions. I'm going to put my notes down. Here's how I, as a New England Patriots fan, feel about the Lions. And it's all good. It's all positive. I thought Barry Sanders retired too soon. I think he would have owned the record easily. I think that he would have set the bar so high, it would have been nearly impossible for any other running back to reach. And I liken it to the hits record with Pete Rose, right? I don't think that record's ever going to be beat. Or no matter how you feel about it, the home run record with Barry Bonds and MLB. That's a mark. I think that's a mark that will never be reached again. Yes, was he juicing? Of course, we all know he was. That's for an argument for another day. I remember Barry also, Billy Sims. Oh, I forgot about Billy Sims. Yeah. No, so my take on the Lions is, they make fun of them, the people that don't live in Detroit. Oh, they're the lovable losers. They're the lovable Lions. They'll be okay. They'll just wait till next year and all that business. I'll tell you what, if I was a Lions fan, I'd be daggone heated, hot as a pepper, right? That's my team, right? Those are my dogs. I got my paraphernalia on the wall, right? I got Lions here and helmet there and football cards over there. I do for the Patriots, and I have a couple Barry Sanders cards. But if they ever are in the position to win the Super Bowl, even if they're playing the Patriots or the 49ers, well, they won't be playing the 49ers because it's NFC, but even if they're playing the Patriots, I'm rooting for the Lions because, hi, Avery, I see you there, buddy, I love you. Well, that's right, the Tigers did. Let's see if my brain works. And the 84 Tigers. Didn't you guys have back then? Oh my gosh. I can't remember. It'll come to me. I know a couple of players from that team. So if the Detroit Lions, didn't they play in the NFC Championship last year, the year before? I think they did. So I think if the Lions ever made it to the Super Bowl or in the NFC, I rooted for them when they were in the NFC Championship game. Sparky Anderson, Alan Trammell, yes. How could I forget those? Alan Trammell was a beast, and Sparky Anderson was one heck of a coach, obviously. And so, didn't they have Cecil Fielder, the big DH, hitting all those monstrous home runs? He hit one out of Comiskey Park back when the White Sox played at Comiskey Park. Am I saying that? Cecil Cooper? Didn't he play for the Tigers? Thought he did. So yeah, I rooted for the Lions when they made it to the NFC Championship game, and I really, really wanted to see them go to the Super Bowl so I could root for them in the Super Bowl. And of course, we all know what happened. Unfortunately, they didn't make it, but they made it to the NFC Championship game. And Dan Campbell is one heck of a coach, right? I think he was comeback coach of the year or something. He won some award for that, for turning them. Oh, that's right. That's when Verlander was with. Am I saying it right? Was it Verlander? Verlander was with the not the Twins, with the Tigers that year, right? Seem to remember Verlander being with the Tigers, and they almost won it that year in '06. Verlander, yes, I thought I was right. Uh, yeah. So basically, point of what I'm trying to say is, if the Lions ever make it to the Super Bowl, I'm rooting for them because they've, in my lifetime, they've never won a Super Bowl. They won the football championship when it was AFL versus NFL. Yes, you're welcome, bro. So let's get back to the games and my predictions. I really think that we're in Indianapolis, Houston. Yeah, I think Indianapolis goes to Houston and slaps them in the mouth. And remembers how to play football because they started so hot. So they're finally going to get over the hump and get. And I have that as one of my games of the week because Indianapolis can go into Houston and really mix things up and hurt Houston's playoff scenario. The New York Jets are going to Buffalo. Need I say any more? If man, oh man, sheesh. Obviously, I think Buffalo's going to win, but if the Jets win, I'll be speechless. I'll be absolutely speechless. I do not see the Jets going to Buffalo and beating the Bills. No effing way. Got to keep it PG rated for the kids. And the Chargers go to Denver. I think as much as I'd like to see Denver lose, actually, I think the Chargers are going to go into Denver and beat them. I think it'll happen. So that's my pick for that one. And the Chiefs going to Las Vegas. Who knows who wins that game? If I have to pick, I'm picking the Chiefs just because it's the Chiefs. I know they don't have Pat Mahomes, but I just think that's going to be how it works out. Miami Dolphins going into New England to play the Patriots. Obviously, I'm picking the Patriots. I think they're clearly the better team over Miami. Washington goes to Philadelphia to play the Eagles. The Atlanta Falcons. I think they had a solid year. There was a few games that didn't go their way. I definitely think they could have had a better year. Had those games that were lost by like 3 points, right around there, 3 or 4 points. They lost a couple of really close games. Had they been able to win those games, obviously we're talking a different scenario, and the Falcons are in the playoffs, right? So, hold on, I dropped a piece of paper. And then, I think the Falcons, with those games that were really super close and they just barely lost, had they been able to win those games, like I said, I think that they would be in the playoffs right now. And I think Bijan Robinson, he is a stud running back. I think he's going to break some records. I can't remember. Is it Kirk Cousins, their quarterback still? I thought that's who it was. Well, I'm going to get a mint. But yeah, so that's my take on the Falcons. And of course, you guys don't know this, but I got a friend that lives down in Georgia. So he was pretty excited when the Georgia Bulldogs won the SEC championship. He's a big Georgia Bulldogs fan, and he's a big anything Atlanta. He loves any teams from Atlanta. So all I'd have to do is get him on the phone, and he'd give you an education on why the Falcons are the best team in the NFL. But the record doesn't say that, and I'm sorry. His name is Joe. I'm sad if he sees this. I'm sorry, Joe. I don't hate your Falcons, but yeah, they just didn't win those close games. Again, had they won those close games, they're in the playoffs easily. So those are my picks for today. I'll just recap them real quick. Today's game, Carolina at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think the Buccaneers are going to win, and then Seattle goes to San Francisco. Joe Killip. Yes, it's okay. I forgive you. Are you an Atlanta Falcons fan? Yes, so Carolina goes to Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers beat Carolina at home. San Francisco beats Seattle at home. The Atlanta Falcons do win. I think they're going to win today over the New Orleans Saints. Cincinnati, one last hurrah to prove their worth. I think Cincinnati beats Cleveland at home. I think Dallas goes into New York and loses to the Giants. The Giants are out to prove something. It's the last game of the season. So, yeah, the Dallas Cowboys go in and get beat by the Giants in New York. Tennessee is going to win over Jacksonville. It's just the way I feel. Again, it's sort of kind of like a prove your worth thing. And I have that as one of the games of the week because Tennessee beats Jacksonville. It takes the possibility of having the number one seed away from Jacksonville. Indianapolis goes to Houston, and I think they take care of business against the Texans. This is a joke, right? The Jets go into Buffalo to play the Bills. It really does make me chuckle because I can't see the Jets. I don't see any scenario where the Jets beat the Bills. So obviously, I think the Bills win over the Jets. The Chargers go to Denver and shock them and beat the Broncos. Kansas City, just because it's Kansas City, you could pick either team. It could go either way. It's literally a flip of a coin. But I think the Chiefs somehow get out of that with a victory. The Rams are going to be all over the Cardinals. The Cardinals are not good. I think they've only won like 2 or 3 games this year. Miami loses to New England at Gillette Stadium. The Commanders lose to the Eagles. And Baltimore loses to the Steelers. And Baltimore and the Ravens and Steelers is tomorrow night's game. That's on at 8:20 p.m. tomorrow night. So there are my picks, for today and tomorrow. You have the game coming up at 4:30, so get ready for that, guys and gals. That's a big one. Like I said earlier, whoever wins that goes to the playoffs. Whoever loses that goes home packing to get ready to play golf down somewhere in the southern states where it's warm. And they're both huge games because Seattle and San Francisco are fighting for the number 1 overall seed in the NFC. So that's going to be a close game. I think San Francisco wins. Thanks for that. Can I share that? I'm going to share that with the rest. I don't know if they can see your comment. It says, I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm a loser, but I'm faithful according to my future ex-wife. Well, congratulations on your engagement. That's the silver lining of that comment, right? You're going to get married to the love of your life. That's amazing. Kudos to you and Godspeed. And I hope your endeavors are everything you hope for. But yeah, Dallas, I don't have Dallas winning. I have them losing to the Giants, but I hope for you that they win. They very well could. They have the better record. I think they're the better team over the Giants. The only reason I'm picking the Giants is because they're at home and they're trying to prove their worth, and it's going to be the last game. And it's a division game, and the Cowboys and the Giants, it's always a dogfight. So for you, I hope the Cowboys win. Maybe it's an early marriage gift. But yeah, those are my picks. A lot of good games. They're all going to be good games. Some better than others. A lot of playoff implications with today, especially today and tomorrow's games. If you guys want to know who's leading... Oh, let me recap for the Seahawks and the 49ers one more time. The Seahawks, if they win or tie, and they're the number... They win or tie and they're the number 1 seed. Win or tie, they're the number 1 seed in the NFC. Oh, if they win or tie, they're the number 1 seed in the NFC with a first round bye. If they lose, they're locked in as the number 5 seed, and then they're going to be traveling to face either the Carolina Panthers or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for their first round wild card game. So it's a big one for both teams. The 49ers are also fighting for the number 1 seed. Pretty sure I'm right on that. And again, I thank all the well-wishers for your kind words and thanking me for my service. I do appreciate that. It was a great honor to become a United States Marine, and it's something I hold near and dear with me every day. I apply it to life. It's served me well, using what I learned, the leadership traits and principles. It has helped me in the real world, the civilian side of this world. So yeah, I don't want to keep you guys too long because the 4:30 game is getting close. We're less than an hour away. I'm sure you guys want to get your chips and nachos and your frankfurters and your sausages. Maybe you got a vegetable plate. Maybe you got a cheese and crackers plate. I like to make pigs in a blanket when I got a good a big game coming on. Maybe I make some chicken wings. I make a bunch of different flavors. Honey barbecue, the traditional hot buffalo sauced ones. I like to do a little garlic and onion. I know that sounds crazy to some people, but I just like the taste. And then I ended off with a sweet onion teriyaki. I've got a little bit of a cooking background too, so I like to cook when I can. Yeah, unless you guys have any questions, I'm going to let y'all go so you can get ready for the 4:30 game. And again, of course, that is the, golly, what did I do with it? It's in my book. This 4:30 game is Carolina and Tampa Bay. So enjoy the games this afternoon. Really appreciate y'all checking in. Do us both a favor, hit that subscribe button. It really does help us both. It helps our channel grow further with the algorithm. It lets people know what we like and get them to watch more of our videos. So if you do a huge favor to help us both, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And for now, thank you. I love you all. You guys are great. Cameron, thanks for coming back like you said you would. Joe Killip, thank you for signing on. I appreciate that. Mark Travis, thank you so much for joining the chat. And Avery, if you're still watching, Daddy loves you. You be good for Mommy, okay, while I'm away. Oh, by the way, for you guys that don't know, I'm in an alcohol recovery center trying to get dry from the drink. And I've been here, by the time I leave, I will have been here almost 6 weeks. And there's been a lot of love and support on that front. And I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to get dry from the drink. I'm dealing with my PTSD and this thing don't shut off. So sometimes it wakes me up in the middle of the night with night terrors and a cold sweat. I knocked the lamp off my end table one night. I came up out of a dead sleep swinging. So, yeah, I've been here for Christmas and the holidays. Can't wait to get back to my family. But again, I appreciate you guys signing on. That's a little bit of my story. But I love doing this. I'll be back next Saturday. I'm going to push it instead of 2 o'clock, just in case things happen like they did today. I'm going to shoot for 3 o'clock next Saturday. We'll do the same thing. It's going to be the first round of the playoffs. I'll have breakdowns, scenarios, who I think is going to win the game, my personal predictions. Don't take them to the bank. I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I'd lean on my picks. Yeah, so next Saturday, 3 o'clock, be there, be square. I appreciate all you guys more than you know. You are the best. You are keeping me sane. You are helping me through my demons and helping me through my own issues. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart, all of you. Thank you so much for showing love and giving me the positive comments. It means a lot. It means more than you know. And hopefully my channel can grow and I can reach more people and get out and talk to more people, right? And eventually maybe, I get a sponsor or something like that where I can reach even more people. But you guys are the ones that make that happen. And without you, and the big guy in the sky, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, without him and you guys, this channel won't grow. So I need you. I need the Lord and Savior up in the sky above. Again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But for now, Corporal Meuse out. Pay it forward, be kind, be well, and Godspeed, my friends.